to another Friday reviews video. And so, I don't know if you noticed as well that I'm just kind of in the same spot wearing the same clothes, because I'm just filming these all on the same day. Usually I'll try and film them just kind of throughout the week and then they'll go up on a Friday, but I just could only film on the Friday today, so yeah, filming them on the Friday for the Friday. So yeah, and so today I'm going to be talking about The Theory of Everything, which I had for a couple of weeks and hadn't got around to watching yet. And I don't know what happened, I just kind of was like, oh, okay, I'll watch that, because I really wanted to concentrate on it as well and kind of be in the zone. So I waited until I knew that I had all the time aside, and I'm so glad that I did do that, because it actually took me quite a long time to watch this film. How long is the film? The film's like 2 hours, but it took me more than 2 hours to watch it, and I'll explain all why. So basically, this is a film about Stephen Hawking and his wife, Jane. It's kind of both their story, really, I feel, from watching the movie, and everybody's probably heard of it. Everyone probably has heard of this movie, and you've probably seen a review on it, or seen the movie, or something like that. So this is just kind of my thoughts and opinion. It's not really, you know, about the movie itself, because I feel like you'll probably most likely know about it. But yeah, if not, it's about him and kind of his life, and I'll go into that a little bit more. And yeah, so basically he's played by Eddie Redmayne, and Eddie Redmayne won the Oscar for Best Actor for this, so I was really interested to see it, and I've heard a lot of people say great things about it. But wow, I did not realise how fantastic he would be. He definitely deserved the Best Actor. I couldn't believe it. It was such an incredible performance. He like completely blew me away, and it was such a believable performance. So basically, if you don't know, this isn't a spoiler or anything, like, just in case you don't know much about Stephen Hawking and wanting to go into this kind of just as a, you know, to learn about it and don't really want to be ruined. I'm not going to ruin, like, you know, the end. I'll just treat it as if, you know, it's a film that you don't already know about, just in case you don't know the story. But this, you know, it happens at the beginning, this is kind of what the film is about. So as, you know, when he's very young and at university, he develops ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, and, you know, they say you've got 2 years to live, and you know, all this, you're not going to be able to walk, and you're not going to be able to speak after a certain amount of time, and all these things. So obviously he's, you know, obviously really beat up about this, and he's just met Jane, played by Felicity Jones, who also does fantastic, and he's kind of just doesn't know what to do, because he's really, really smart, really good at science, and, you know, he's coming up with these theories and been, you know, he's just fantastically clever, and it's just this whole big thing, and this thing that happens to him so early on, like, it doesn't usually happen to people that early on. I think it was like quite a rare situation. And so then, right, so then that happens, and then so the first 20 minutes in the movie, say, is kind of sweet. You're getting to know him a bit, and he's meeting Jane and stuff, and then once you find out that next, like, half an hour of the movie was so sad. I found that beginning stages of this disease really, really, really sad. It was really kind of hard to watch, but Eddie Redmayne was so fantastic. But it was like so heartbreaking to see. It was just, I don't know, his performance was so good, but it was so, so sad. Like, I expected the movie would be kind of sad because, you know, of its subject matter, but then there's so many other things as well explored in the movie, not just that. But I don't know, I didn't realise it would be so, but they did it so well that it kind of worked so well that it really got to you. And so, yeah, sometimes I'd like pause the movie and just kind of think about it a bit. It was one of those movies. It was kind of one of those. So it definitely took me a while to watch it, because I kind of paused it and was like, wow, you know, it was really a powerful movie, but especially in that kind of half an hour there. But the whole movie was, but that first bit when you really start to see him struggling with it, it's you know, it's really pretty strong stuff. And it was very sad, but I think it's, you know, obviously really important to see. But it also then goes on to deal with his life with Jane, and kind of, it really shows her perspective on things as well, and the situations that she kind of had to deal with, and the things that she went through with it all. And I felt that was really great, because he kind of got to see it from her point of view as well, and that also was really sad. It was a very, very sad film. If you don't like sad films, but no, I recommend that everybody should probably watch this, but it is sad. And then, you know, it does deal with kind of his science and, you know, his great theories that he came up with. So it talks about that, but not quite as much as I thought that it would. It does go into it, but just not. It kind of more focuses on his disease and struggles and just his general life, his family life, and his relationship with Jane and that kind of stuff more than his achievements in science, I would say so, in the movie. But it definitely did a good balance. It wasn't ever too much on one or the other, whereas I feel like maybe if they would have focused really heavily on the science, maybe some people would have been like, oh, you know, you don't get that, or if they would have focused way too heavily on like the romance between the two of them, that would have been a bit, you know, so I think they spread it out really well, of the kind of, because it's kind of dealing with three different things but all in one, because that was a part of his life. So basically it's just, you know, the story of his life. They did actually miss, well not miss, but they kind of, I don't know, at the end they did some things that were interesting, but if you don't know the actual story, you should look it up, because I'm not going to tell you, because if you don't know, then it'll ruin the end if you just wanted to watch the film and, you know, be not knowing. I've done that before. I've seen a film and it's like based on a true story. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just watch the film to kind of learn about that and stuff. So then if somebody would have told me at the end, I would have been a bit like, oh, that was disappointing. But yeah, so there's some things at the end. If you've seen the movie and you know some things, you'll know what I mean, I'm sure. But if not, definitely look up some stuff because it's interesting. But yeah, the end was sweet. The movie was very sad but very sweet. But most of all, something that really, really struck me straight away as soon as I started watching it, it's such an incredibly beautifully filmed film. The cinematography in this is absolutely fantastic. I was like, wow. It completely blew me away, and all the shots have been like so thought out. It's kind of like you could pause it and so many of them could just be like a beautiful picture. It's one of those type of movies, so it's definitely, if you love beautifully filmed movies, this is definitely one to watch. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've all heard of this movie and of the story, and I'm sure you've all heard of Stephen Hawking and all things like that. So yeah, if you have any interest to watch this movie and you haven't done yet, I would definitely recommend it. I gave it 5 stars, and I kind of thought about that for a little while because, like I say, it was difficult to watch. And I don't really know why I found it so difficult to watch, because it's not really like, I don't know, I had no kind of, I don't know anybody in that situation, I had no kind of personal thing with it. It just, the movie was so well done that I felt like it could get across to everybody that, I don't know, I think that that's great though. If a movie can really do that, then I think it's a fantastic movie. But Eddie Redmayne, he was just so outstanding, and he made this movie. Like I say, his performance was just so good. I was so surprised. I just didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I mean, I expected it to be great because, you know, people have been talking about it and he won the Oscar, but wow, it's definitely something to see. He was so fantastic, and yes, so that's kind of my thoughts on the theory of everything. It's not too in-depth because I don't really know what to say. It's one of those movies, after I watched it, I was like, wow, I'm going to be thinking about this movie, but I don't know how to get my thoughts out in the review. So hopefully that kind of made sense. But I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a fantastic film. It looked beautiful. The performances were incredible. The story was, you know, an inspirational, moving story. And yeah, I definitely recommend you check it out if you've been interested in it. Let me know down in the comments below though if you have seen the movie, because I'm sure a lot of you have, and your thoughts on it and stuff like that. So until then guys, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you then. Goodbye!